Hello everyone. Today I'd like to discuss the forgotten GameCube classic, Chibi-Robo, and various reasons why it's still a game worth playing today. And yes, the exclamation point is a part of the title, and yes, it is a major pain in the ass every time I want to type the game's name, but I digress. Let me start at the beginning. See, my name's James and I play video game. Mom, go away! And here's what I think about.
Chibi-Robo.
Chibi-Robo was initially conceived as a point-and-click adventure game in 2003 by Skip Limited. However, dissatisfied with the direction the game was heading, Skip put the project on hold indefinitely, and there it might have stayed, caught in the limbo between existence and non-existence, had not one Shigeru Miyamoto taken a shine to the little robot and helped to guide the game. Now, for those of you who may have never heard of Mr. Miyamoto, he's the man responsible for the creation of such legendary series as the Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda, as well as several other early video game franchises which are still immensely beloved and sell quite well to this day. Except for that one. They never did make a Donkey Kong 2 near... I'm sorry, buddy. Anyhow, my point here is that I believe that it was, at least partially, due to the strength of Miyamoto's creative vision that lets Chibi-Robo stand with the best of its GameCube peers. So now that I've explained how Chibi-Robo came to be, I'd say that it's about damn time I told y'all what Chibi-Robo is. What do you do in Chibi-Robo? Well, it's honestly pretty simple. You, the player, play as a 3-inch tall household cleaning robot named Chibi-Robo. Newly purchased by the Sanderson family, your sole purpose in, Robo life is to help the Sandersons keep their house tidy. Along the way, you befriend the Sandersons' socially unacclimated daughter, Jenny, save the Sandersons' failing marriage, help a freakish toy find love, travel through time to get the parts to put back together a decrepit, larger cleaning robot named Giga-Robo, dig up a pirate's lost ship, resuscitate a dehydrated frog and her boyfriend, give a dog a bone, destroy a bunch of robot spiders that try to take over the house, and cure wish-granting micro-aliens who, as it turns out, were responsible for granting the family's toys life in the first place, and who, upon your rescuing them, grant humanity an eternal power source that makes it so that our machines never need charging again. So yeah, simple plot stuff. Simple plot. No, you know what? I'm done. I don't need another convoluted-ass narrative like this in my life. No, thank you. James, out! So, the story itself is pretty convoluted, and honestly, it's the one aspect of the game that I don't really have much of an opinion about. Sure, it's got some charming moments, and if you're like 9, it might even bring the occasional tear to your eye. Am I a cynical prick? I don't know. The story's just okay. Let's move on. Now, I previously mentioned that you're a little robot that cleans up trash, and what's that you say, Internet Gen Zers?
That sounds boring as fuck.
Well, it's not. It's actually really fun and relaxing. You see, the game offsets the repetition of house cleaning in several ways. First off, it provides the player with several different types of things to clean, like smudges that you have to scrub with a little toothbrush, wall stains that you spray off with a child's fake doctor syringe, and flowers that you can plant with a weirdo spoon shovel, along with the regular trash picking up, of course. Also, this game keeps up a pretty steady progression pace, with Robo receiving moolah and happy points frequently. Now, moolah is a currency that the player can use to purchase upgrades for Chibi-Robo, such as an arm blaster and other handy attachments, and also flower seeds that you can plant. Now, happy points, on the other hand, represent the family's love and appreciation for Chibi's actions, and contribute towards leveling up your Chibi rank. Your rank starts at 1,000,000, and the closer to rank 1 you get, the more bonus batteries you receive. Now, this system is slightly complex, so allow me to clarify. Much like most household gadgets, Chibi-Robo runs on batteries that he recharges in wall outlets, but his battery's charge capacity is very limited at the start of the game, so you can't go very far on one charge until the aliens do that thing in the end. But we're not going to talk about that. However, as your Chibi-Robo ranking goes up, you get a bigger charge and can make longer excursions on each outing. You see, while picking up trash was pretty fun, one of the real joys for me was exploring the house and finding its secrets. Like these Frogalicious ring pops to give to Jenny. But seriously, the house in this game really is its own little world, with all kinds of characters trying to accomplish their own unique objectives, such as the little eggs turned army men who want you to train up and help free their fellow soldier from Tao, the dog. Or Jenny's teddy bear, Sunshine, that'll straight up murder a bitch for some nectar. One neat feature in this game is that the world has a day and night cycle, which the player can set to every 5, 10, or 15 minutes. During the day, the family members are up and about the house, relaxing, cleaning, relaxing, cooking, crying, or just plain old relaxing. But come night, all of the toys come alive and have some fun of their own, just like Toy Story. Now, apart from just bringing the toys to life, the day-night cycle is supposed to serve the function of making the player feel the urgency of completing whatever quest or cleaning task that they're working on before that happens. Just one problem, though. Unlike a game such as Dead Rising, in which the player has a limited number of days to save as many people as they can, Chibi-Robo has no time limit. This means that any pressure or tension that could be caused by a day-to-night transition is completely manufactured and fake. So essentially, without even the pressures of a ticking clock element, the game presents no major challenges or obstacles to overcome. Well, except for these guys, but I said major challenges. Get wrecked. Now, I could see this lack of difficulty being a turnoff for hardcore gamers, but as a guy who beat and thoroughly enjoyed Bloodborne, watch my Bloodborne review, I think I can attest to there being something pretty ding-dang satisfying in playing a game as chill as Chibi-Robo. There's just something so simple and peaceful about playing it that's honestly kind of hard to explain. Speaking of simplicity, Chibi-Robo's controls are super simple to master, which makes them a lot more welcoming to players of any skill level who just want to play a fun game. My only complaint when it comes to this game's controls is the camera, which, while nowhere near as problematic as something like, a Sonic the Hedgehog game, it does occasionally have problems adjusting to tight spaces, which can be a little frustrating at times. Like I said, though, it's not a major issue, and honestly, it's even a bit better than, like, Super Mario Sunshine's camera, for instance, which only came out a few years earlier on the same platform. Also, one neat gameplay feature that I was surprised to see in this game was the ability to create shortcuts organically out of various parts of the environment, such as a birdcage rope or coffee machine cable. This type of natural checkpoint would be popularized in 2009 in From Software's game Demon's Souls. But it's kind of funny to see this mechanic appear in a little unknown game from 3 years earlier. By now, if you have been watching this video with your human eyes, you may have noticed that there are visuals on the screen. I will now discuss said visuals. Chibi-Robo visually represents the quintessential 1960s American dream household aesthetic, complete with a small backyard featuring a solitary tree swing surrounded by a pristine white fence. Now that's dandy and all, but the most interesting bit of visual flair that Chibi-Robo draws from the 60s aesthetic is its use of bright, vivid colors and intricate patterns. Now in a more traditional game, such small details are insignificant and only serve to augment the bigger picture, but in Chibi-Robo, you're playing as a 3-inch robot, so every detail in a room becomes a significant part of the terrain that you're crossing. A staircase to climb is like a mountain to scale, a toy castle is a formidable bastion to conquer, and a drain pipe becomes an intricate series of tunnels to explore. This house is your world to explore, and it's easy to see that the developers put a lot of care into its every facet. From the numerous intricate patterns on the wallpaper and carpets to the cleanable sea of bird turds strewn across the backyard overhang. The level of creativity that the developers put into this game's environmental details really makes it feel even more alive. Now, I've discussed ad nauseum Chibi-Robo's gameplay and aesthetics, but one facet of the game that is critically important is its sound direction. Of course, Chibi-Robo boasts a lovely little soundtrack with different day and night themes and such, which contribute to its charming atmosphere, but it's the game's sound effects themselves that are the true star. Here, I'm gonna stop talking now because I just want you to take in the game's sound for the next, 10 seconds or so. Now, I've often found that it's the little details that really make a work of art, and while I'm not so sure that I'd call Chibi-Robo art, in the traditional sense anyway, I would still hold that it benefits greatly from its attention to small details. One detail that I particularly enjoy is the fact that every different surface Chibi walks on produces a different sound. Such close attention to fine details helps me as a player to suspend my disbelief in the stretched reality of the world that Skip created, and ultimately be fine with the idea of a 3-inch Roomba making instrumental sounds when he walks, cleans, or does just about anything for that matter. Additionally, the sound work helps to prevent house cleaning from becoming repetitive by giving fun sounds to picking up trash and throwing it away, scrubbing stains, and flying. Also, I really love that little blinky sound that Chibi-Robo makes when it climbs up wires and stuff. It's great! Now, there was one final aspect of the game's sound design that I wanted to mention, which is greatly superior to other games from its time, such as Super Mario Sunshine and the GameCube Ocarina of Time remake, which is the sound that Robo makes when he's close to running out of energy. It's so much less irritating than this. Or this. Thanks, Skip, for not making me have to hear this sound and panic! Well, I guess that I've discussed about everything that I wanted to discuss. Ultimately, Chibi-Robo is a really fun game with charming character interactions, a delightful house to explore, and incredible sound direction. Overall, I rate this game a solid 93 out of 100 because of the issues that I previously mentioned with the camera, and also because later into the game, the cleaning can start to feel a little stale. However, none of these minor gripes are enough to hamper the experience unduly, and I'd recommend this game to anyone who has a GameCube and enjoys a more laid-back style of game. Hey, thank you everyone for watching, and if you enjoyed this video game review, give it a like, and stick around. There's plenty of great content to see on this channel, so subscribe, y'all. Peace!